Now we're going to move straight on to show jumping. Now again, from what I was saying earlier, we've seen a complete contrast from Flamingold, who's 26, siring the best dressage, to another young stallion in the show jumping section. So if we have a look at his video, and that can introduce him and his progeny. There we go. Thank you, Rachel. Well, there we go. That's Cornets Pleasure WW, and I'd like to introduce Sarah Peacock here. This is a really interesting young stallion. I mean, he's really bred in the purple for show jumping, isn't he, Sarah? And also the whole story behind him, because you started up one of the first sort of truly show jumping syndicates, starting with a young horse. Lots of horses people get involved with horses later on in their careers as syndicates, but you took this bold approach right from the beginning. So welcome to you. Huge congratulations on his first progeny presented, his first year at stud. I think he's the first progeny he's got on the ground. So please tell us a little bit about him.
Yes, certainly. Well, thanks, Jane. And I must say thank you to everybody who's been involved in this award and presenting it to us, which is really amazing. We're so proud to have received it. He's bred in the purple, as you say. He's by Cornets WW, so Clinton behind that. And the dam line is amazing as well with For Pleasure. Both, I think, two of the top stallions ever in the world, with an amazing number of Grand Prix show jumpers. I first met Gibbs just a little over a year ago now. Gibbs is his stable name, named after the NCIS character. I fell in love with him. I'd always wanted to own something by Cornets WW, and I could never believe my wildest dreams that I could afford to buy something, frankly. So I went to Western Warmbloods and to Gerda Weston, and all credit to her for joining the party and for agreeing that we could try to syndicate him, because this really was a first. I know people often have one or two owners, but we have over 40 owners of this stallion. And some of them have had no involvement in horses or show jumping at all, and have seen it as an investment and something, an experience, if you like, to have fun with, to follow the horse. Others have had horses, are owners of other horses. And one of the things we set out to achieve was that no one would have overall control of the horse. And I think that's been one of the issues in the past. So we built a team around him. That team has changed fairly recently. And Gibbs is now at Saywell Equestrian with Andrew Saywell and Jake Saywell. And I'm really pleased to say that Joe Trunkfield has got the ride on Gibbs. We've been looking for the perfect partnership for some time, because I do think it's all about partnerships. It's about the team around the horse that manage the horse, but it's also about the rider and the horse having the right partnership. And I think you can see from that very short bit of video there, Joe, he'd been ridden by Joe about 3 days at that point. So that was really an amazing piece of video to shoot. We've got great aspirations for the horse. It's actually his second year at stud. These are his second foals. I'm very lucky to own a colt by him that will be 2 next year and will certainly go into the futurity next year. He's by Gibbs and our Diamant de Semilly line, so I've got great hopes for that as a potential stallion in the future. And I own one of the 2 filly foals that graded so well in the futurity, Cornets Clear Impression, which is by Gibbs again, out of a Clearway mare, and I think Clearway has become a very popular sire in Germany now, so got hopes for her as well. What can I say about him? He's got the most amazing temperament, he really has. And it's interesting because coupled to that temperament on the ground and to deal with is certainly a degree of quirkiness, let's call it that. He's certainly got a lot of character. His sire had a lot of character as well. Cornet Obolensky was known for being very difficult when he was young. I think a lot of people remember that Clooney, who's one of his sons, was very difficult as well, but won the European Championships last year. So I'm very hopeful we can achieve a lot with Gibbs. It's been very slow, like everybody this year. We've suffered every time the horse has been ready to go out, we've been locked down. Every time lockdown's been released, he's been having a couple of weeks off. So it's been very difficult to get it right, but he's going out this Sunday for the first time in probably about 6 months. And let's keep our fingers crossed and hope he performs in the show jumping arena as well as he has as a stud stallion.
Well done to you. And I must admit, when you came to the Stallion event last year and you brought him for the first time and you rang me up and you said, what can you do for my syndicate members? I was sort of thinking about 8 or 10 people. I thought, oh no, it's fine, we can give you a few passes. And then when you said there were 40, I was like, oh my goodness, not quite sure how we're going to go with that. But it's a real credit to you, Sarah, to start something like this, because this is a new way of working from the beginning with a young horse. And as I said earlier, lots of people get involved in syndicates later on to keep a horse with a rider or such like, but to actually get a lot of people together and for them to enjoy the whole process through its career and as a stallion and see its progeny do well. It's really good. And I'm so pleased for you that he's won this award, because it's a strong class to win. And this year particularly, we've had more show jumpers forward than in previous years. So it's a good year to win it, and very well done to you. And we wish you all the best with him.
Thank you. Can I just say thank you to the syndicate owners, because without them, we wouldn't have Gibbs. And I think they've been fantastic. And I think they're really keen to see how this horse develops. Hopefully they'll be able to come out and see him jump soon. But they've been really supportive. It wouldn't have been possible without them and without having belief in this young horse.
You must have a very big WhatsApp group. So congratulations and all the best to you. We look forward to seeing him out and in the prize placings when we get all the results.